And yes, we are live. Can you see me? Can you hear me? How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining this week's episode. Just let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. We are live. Yes. Okay. You can hear me and you can see me. You can hear me and you can see me. So, today we are talking about something interesting, something powerful. Sometimes we are so busy, you know, we are there chasing the next big thing, looking for the next level, trying to be on top of our game, stuff like that, that we forget to celebrate the level we already are in. We stay and we keep on praying, casting and binding for things, many things. We keep working, rushing, everybody is hustling towards those things. And when they finally happen, we just move on. We just have a new goal, you know. So tonight, I want us to pause. I want us to reflect. I want us to recognize what God has already done for us because you cannot grow what you do not appreciate. And many of us are living in our answered prayers, but we are too distracted to even notice. Celebrate yourself. Welcome to this week's episode of Glow into the Week. I am Dr. Chimsom Ogu, your skin and confidence doctor, and I help you glow from inside out. Today we'll be talking about a topic which is you. Celebrate yourself. This message was actually, inspired by my daughter because she said something and she said, Mommy, learn to celebrate yourself. And I was like, okay. For a small girl to tell you that, she must have been saying some things. And she was like, I can see you growing, Mommy, but yeah, you're still looking for chasing. You have not taken time to appreciate where you are now. And it's something that all of us need to hear, honestly. The problem is that we find ourselves in spaces where we are always expecting something new, chasing something. We are there comparing ourselves with others, what they've achieved, what they have, what we don't have. We are following other people's progress and asking ourselves, when will I get there? We are always looking for what next after this. So even when we achieve, that thing that we have been praying for, we forget. And then we don't even take time to appreciate where we are at a certain time. We are still looking for what next. And we forget to pause and ask ourselves, what about me? Am I at the point where I should start to celebrate now? Because the truth is that when you keep chasing and chasing and chasing, you never get to the point where you're happy for what you already have. Now, sometimes we are already in the place where we've been praying for years. For years, we've been asking God for this miracle. For years, we've been asking God for this job. And it's easy to just stay in the place and keep complaining, oh, this job they gave me, oh, these people are stressing me. But remember that place you are right now, you once prayed for it, you once fasted for it, you once asked God for it. And now you're taking it for granted. Now you're just acting like it is, your right. And you've not even taking you're looking for the next big thing. You're not even taking time to appreciate that space or what you have now because you are so focused on what is next. You know, you so truly forget to say thank you to God and appreciate Him. So now, why don't we as human beings celebrate ourselves? Why do we struggle to really celebrate, you know, where we are, what we have achieved? The first thing is comparison. When you start to compare yourself with your mates, you say, my mates are this. I tell people, I have no mates. Nobody is my mate. If you say, oh, my mates are driving big cars, my mates are already managers or this or that, what of your mates that are dead? Yeah? Why not compare yourself to them? So the truth is that you don't have a mate. Once you have that mentality, it makes it easier for you to appreciate yourself where you are. And some of us are so worried about the things that are missing that we miss the things that we have, the things that are staring us in the face. We let it go, we let it slide, we don't notice it. It's easy for us to worry. Oh, I'm not beautiful enough. Oh, my I'm getting dark. Oh, but yet you're working, yet you're sleep. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm not eating for 5 days. But you're alive. There's always something to be grateful for. So I want to enjoin you to shift your focus and purposely look at yourself and say, what are the good things happening in my life? What are the things I'm supposed to be grateful for and celebrate myself for? And focus on them. I realize that when you do that, more good things and more reasons to celebrate come, and you start to see them. Once you focus on what is missing, you start to see other things that are missing. Somehow the devil has a way of magnifying the things that are missing, and then we forget the 100 things that are working. Don't let yourself be in that space. Always consciously ask yourself, what do I have to celebrate today? What is going to make me smile today? What has made me smile? What are the things that I have that I've been taking for granted? Am I at the point where I prayed God I should pray, ask God for? You want to maybe go abroad, for example, and then you're abroad, but things are difficult. Remember that there was a time we were fasting to go abroad. Yes, there was a time you were doing that, but now things are not turning in your mind. They are not turning out the way you wanted them to turn out. But there are people in somewhere else praying to be where you are. So please take the time to celebrate yourself. Sometimes you feel like, oh, what I have is not enough yet. Until I get this, get that, get that, get that, then it's time to celebrate. The truth is that human beings were insatiable. When you have one thing, you want more. You get to that stage, you keep wanting and keep wanting. Sometimes, why do you think that you see billionaires that are still chasing money, chasing money, chasing money? They are at the point they don't even think that they have enough. They are still working hard, still doing this one, still doing that one, because we are insatiable. So, any stage you are, learn the lessons you need to learn and be grateful for that stage, because it is what is going to lift you and build you, to become who you're supposed to be for your next stage. So, sometimes, if you're not careful, you're going to miss the lesson, miss what you're supposed to take out of them. And sometimes, we are upset because we are waiting for everything to be perfect. We are waiting for perfection. We can't things are never going to be perfect. There's never going to be a perfect time to do anything. If you keep procrastinating, keep you know pushing your happiness away, you're never going to get there, because there's nothing like perfection. That's just the truth. There's nothing like everything being aligned. Everybody you see has one struggle or the other, but it's a choice. You either choose to be happy where you are and be grateful for it and celebrate yourself, or you choose to be sad. So there's nothing like perfection. Get that in your head. Just move where you are, and it gets better as you go and you keep going and you keep going. The truth is that in life, there's always another level. You're never going to get to the end. There's always somebody that's higher than you. No matter how much money you have, no matter what level of your career you are in, there's always the next level. So appreciate the level you're in. Be happy, stay happy, and enjoy it. Now, what is the danger of us, not appreciating ourselves? You start to feel like we are left behind. You start to look at yourself and you start to shrink, because you feel like, oh, like I said, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the things that are not working, and you start to feel like, ah, I need to catch up with somebody. You start to become lose your confidence, because when you feel like you're left behind, when you come out in a space, of course, you will not hold your head up high and talk or express yourself. When you're with the quotes your mates, quotes, like I said before, we don't have any mates. You don't have any mates. You're not competing with anybody. Your aim every time is to be better than yourself, better than who you were yesterday. And the truth is that if you ask yourself, 5 years ago, are you better than you were 5 years ago or 2 years ago? Are you where you once prayed to be? So don't let situations around you start to make you feel like you're behind, because that's something that's going to steal your joy. And make you not to be able to celebrate and appreciate where you are, and also make you not to, show up confident. You become ungrateful without realizing it. Everything that happens, people are around you, good things are happening, and you're biting everybody. You start to complain about everything. You never see anything good in anything because you become ungrateful. You become ungrateful, yet you are blessed. I kid you not. If you're alive, you can see, you can walk, you can talk, then you are blessed. I'm a doctor and I see people who cannot walk, who cannot talk, who cannot eat. There are people that they can't swallow food, yet you can taste food, and you're ungrateful, and you're focusing on the fact that one small thing happened, or somebody broke your heart, or something random happened to you, yet every other thing around you is working perfectly and working well. Don't let that happen to you. Always stay grateful for the little things that are working. Always celebrate the place you are at every point. Always deliberately keep chasing peace. Don't be in that space where nothing ever feels enough for you. So even the Bible says that we should give thanks in all circumstances. I know that sometimes it's hard. You lose a loved one, it's hard to give thanks. You lose all your money, you have a major setback. It's hard. I agree. But believe you me, in every circumstance, there's always a reason to give thanks. If you look at it critically and look at it outside of your emotions, you will find a reason to be thankful. Or even if it's not at that time, maybe later you realize why God allowed what happened to happen to you. It's important that you note and put it in your head that gratitude is required for you to grow, for you to move from where you are now to where you want to be. Now, I'll talk about myself. There are moments when I actually catch myself, worrying about, oh, the future. I need to write exams. I need to do this. I need to do that. I feel like, oh, maybe I'm not. I don't have time to prepare. I need to be a mother. I need to still read book. I need to still write exams. And I sit back and I realize, Chisom, you're actually living your answers. Yes. I remember when I was a student, I used to look at the senior residents and I used to look at them and look at them like, wow, I can't wait to get there. Wow, see how they are looking, they know everything. And I just told myself, you're now that senior resident, you're not that person that you used to look at like they knew all the stuff, they knew everything. Yeah, that's me. Like I'm living in my prayers. So if I'm not careful, I'll keep looking for, oh, my mates are now consultants, my mates are not. I don't have mates. Like I said before, nobody is my mates. All of us are running our own race. We are not in any competition. It's important that you understand that you are running your race. You are in a space where you should be celebrating. You identify what you're grateful for and celebrate. Now, instead of always asking yourself what's next, I want you to sit back and ask yourself, in my life, what have I overcome? Because when you sit back and reflect, it gives you some kind of confidence because you know that this thing that you're worrying about, you prayed, God answered you in the past. Why won't He answer you now? Yes, why? If He has done it for you before, why? If you have overcome something before, why can't you overcome it again? Yes. So the fact that you've moved forward is a sign that you can also overcome what you are currently going through. So it gives you some kind of confidence to move. So ask yourself, how far have I come in the past 1 year, in the past 3 months? Even if it means that, oh, I've read more books. Just like me, I'm happy for myself. I've read more books than I read, as last month. I've, met more people. I've, finished a project. I've finished one thing. Any kind of progress you have, it deserves your acknowledgement. It deserves your, accepting it, and you're celebrating it. It's just, some people say, oh, there's people I even saw. um that they don't even see the need to celebrate. For example, your birthday, you don't see the need to celebrate your birthday. Let me tell you an insight about birthdays. Before there was time I used to, I'll stay by birthday, I don't really do anything. So I was like, that's stressing me. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Celebrating yourself means, oh, I just sit down, you know, buy drinks for myself and my children, and we are happy. That's enough celebration. Think about it. If you knew that that was going to be your last birthday, we didn't want to celebrate it. We didn't want to create a culture around it. It's just something for you to reflect on. So that's the one chance where other people celebrate you, with you. So why not join them and celebrate yourself? At least let that be your excuse to celebrate yourself. You know, Celebration really matters because you cannot grow what you don't appreciate. If you don't appreciate yourself, you won't be able to do the work you need to grow, to get to the next level. You know, if you learn to celebrate yourself, it makes you, you know, work out with some kind of, it builds confidence in you. Like I said before, you realize that God has done it. I've gone through this before. You have been able to reflect, and I'm now where I prayed for. That means my what I'm praying for now, I'm still going to get there. And someday I'm still going to reflect, and I remember this day when I asked for that thing. It also reinforces the progress that you've made in your life, and it helps you to strengthen your identity of who you are. It makes you believe that, oh, this is who I am. I have done it before. I am strong. I can do it again. It gives you some kind of peace. It increases your joy. You know, what you celebrate expands. That's just the truth. So when you celebrate yourself, you trust your journey. Yeah, you start to show up boldly and you stop shrinking. Somehow, confidence grows when you recognize your own value, because if you don't, nobody will do it for you. You value yourself first, and people treat you the way you see yourself. If you start looking at yourself as beautiful or as confident, people start seeing you that way. That's actually the first step to, becoming who you want to be. You believe it in yourself, you find yourself starting to act in that way, starting to walk like that, starting to talk like that. And that is the key to other people seeing that thing in you that you've said seen in yourself. Now, sometimes we are blind to our progress because you're actually too close to your own journey. Yeah, you're the person going on the journey, so you just keep seeing the obstacles. You know everything about yourself, but sometimes I don't look at looking at you and like, this person has come far. I want to be like this person. This, that, you know and sometimes we don't see our progress because you're comparing your own chapter 3 with another person's chapter 10. Like, you're just starting. You're looking at somebody that has started doing that thing like 10 years ago, and you want to get there at the same time, and you now start to feel bad about where you are. Come on, come off it. You are running your own race, they're running their own. Stop the comparison. But the truth is that, irrespective of how we feel, growth is happening. Now, I want to give you a charge for this week. This week, I want you to pause, reflect, and take time out and write down 5 things you are proud of about yourself. Something that you did that you are proud of. Write down 5 ways that you have grown. Maybe in the last year, in the last 4 years, even in the last 10 years. And then start to identify in your life 5 prayers that God has answered. And take time to celebrate yourself intentionally. It's really, really important. Now, affirmations for the week. I want you to say with me, I celebrate who I am and who I am becoming. I am proud of my journey. I honor my growth. I release comparison. I glow with confidence and gratitude. I'll just tell you something. Remember that you are not behind, you are becoming. And you deserve to celebrate yourself every step of the way. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Glow into the Week. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, and join us same time next week. I'm Dr. Chimsom Ogu, your skin and confidence doctor, helping you to glow from inside out. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye.